You're very welcome to Mallow GAA grounds here for today's coverage on Munster GAA TV of the Mhuiri final in partnership with TUS colleges. It is, of course, St. Francis College Rochestown against St. Brendan's College Killarney. It's a fine day here. It's the conditions hopefully bode well for a good game of football. Before we get to our live coverage of the game, we're going to hear from the Rochestown coach Eamon Hennessy, but first from the St. Brendan's manager Kieran Hurley.
Now, delighted to join by Kieran Hurley of St. Brendan's College Killarney ahead of the Mhuiri final against St. Francis College Rochestown. Exciting times in the school?
Yeah, great excitement since last Saturday. The large school, and there's a tradition of football, and I suppose post-COVID and all that, the school seems to be getting behind the fact that we're in a high-profile occasion, and so there's been a great buzz the last few days.
Yeah, you mentioned post-COVID there. Obviously, you won it last year, but there would have been some restrictions. Whereas this year, you've been able to go at it as you would have always, and it's great to have the competition back to what it was.
It's been very nice to have that freedom and liberation back again. I suppose people are looking ahead and looking at the realities of life, that about careers and sport and recreation, and getting the full aspects of school life back up and running, being back in base rooms and having year areas and all that. So no, it's been a very enjoyable time now the last few weeks.
Yeah, and it's a great tradition in your school, Mhuiri. Obviously the reigning champions, you've won the most titles. It's a really important aspect of your school.
It's a key part of one of our extracurricular program. There are other parts. I suppose, look, we're from Kerry, we're from East Kerry. There's a big emphasis being put in by the clubs in the area, and that's been the case for quite a while. And we buy into that, and fellas love it, and it's a motivation for them, and it's a great focus for fellas in adolescence. That they have this outlet, and they form great bonds doing it.
And obviously the beauty of the schools is you might only have a fella for 2 or 3 years, but every year you're producing it. It's you're really nurturing the players to go on and then play for Kerry, hopefully.
I suppose like Rochestown, we're a big school, we have big numbers, and you're going to get a cohort of 70 or 80 first years anyway, who are mad for road. A lot of those guys stick at it, and you work off a big panel then at senior cycle, and in fairness, there's big demands, but they all seem to put it in, as I'm sure that's the case in Rochestown as well.
Do you feel pressure in the school that coming in as champions, but every year you're one of the favourites, or is it a privilege to be seen in that light?
No, there's a huge motivation by any group to, I suppose, find a position on the wall, to have some sort of legacy or something to look back on for all the time and effort they put in when they are in school. No, we haven't time for that really. You just knuckle down and put in a lot of work, and that's hopefully have something left behind after it.
You talk about that wall, there's a lot of superstars on it, we'll say, and even with Kerry win All Ireland, it shows a clear path for the players that there is more. This is only a stepping stone in their hopefully graduation to the senior team. It's a part of the network. There's a lot of other hard work that has to go in as well, like the development squads. But no, fellas can see that it is a stepping stone. So there's an investment then made by the players who have those aspirations. The semi-final, obviously a local enough derby against Mercy Mount Hawk. What was your take on that game? Because it was comfortable in the end, but it was a struggle for large periods.
Yeah, it was a very competitive game. We know each other very well. It was our third time meeting this year. We didn't expect any different. I suppose the challenge for us was we had to face 2 big games in the week, and that just took a bit of managing. But as regards the last day, it was a lot of it was patience. Making sure we had energy in the legs and drive on there when the game needed to be won.
Yeah, you mentioned that quick turnaround from quarter to semi, but you must be very glad to have a 2 weeks to look at Rochestown and see what they're about.
You just look at the step in front of you, and for us it's game to game, and we follow the same build up for every game. We do our field work, we do our bit of analysis, get our heads right. It doesn't change. It's game to game, and just get the scheduling around. The fact there's a little bit of PR for this, which is different to normal, but other than that, it's as we were.
And what's the buzz like around the school itself coming into Mhuiri final?
Well, I suppose with pre-exams on now at the minute, they can't exactly go mad as such, So things are quiet, muted at the minute, but I can see towards the end of next week it will be building. The junior school obviously are doing a little bit junior cycle around posters and colours and all that. But the senior cycle students are a bit focused on exams at the minute.
And any injuries to report coming into the final from that hectic quarter semi-final period?
Well, I suppose we were unfortunate against Bandon in the quarter final. Our Charlie Keating done his ankle ligaments. Don't think he'll be back, and I don't think he'll be ready for this. But we're hopeful of having everyone else available.
And finally, obviously won last year, retain a couple of those boys. It must be a big benefit to have that experience of playing on the biggest day in Munster Schools football.
Everything counts, but we're about the collective. We have potentially 5 starters from last year. There's 35 more, so there's a different dynamic. There's a new management team. All of that feeds into a different dynamic, and it's about repeating the process that we have been doing so far this year. And look, we're getting huge enthusiasm off the boys' effort. Hopefully they're getting huge energy off our efforts, and look, it's all about using that now for the next big battle.
Now, delighted to join by St. Francis, Rochestown, Eamon Hennessy ahead of the Killarney final next Saturday. I suppose, what's the excitement levels like in the school?
Yeah, look, we're delighted to be there. The place is buzzing really over the last week or so. We last got to final 2015, and I suppose haven't been there since. But we've been close enough a couple of times. We got to the final and semi-final in 2019 and in 2020. So to make that extra step now, we're very happy, and there's a lot of excitement around. But obviously, there's a big game to be won next week, and we're looking forward to putting our best effort into managing that. But it's going to be obviously very tough against Brendan's.
I suppose talking about the 2015 final, there's obviously experience to be learned, but it's a whole new team, so there's no real baggage going into the final.
No, I think that's right. Like our boys, from day one, the start of this year, I suppose have played very well. We've had good results. I suppose confidence comes from that. There's been a huge collective effort from everybody on the panel. When you've had fellas out with injuries or various different things, fellas have come in, and it's kind of almost been seamless, I suppose, in a way. So, a lot of confidence comes from that, and the boys are very much looking forward to next Saturday.
Talking about confidence there, the semi-final against Bishopstown, must have got great confidence from coming out of an all-Cork derby in the semi-final.
That's it, and again, I suppose there was excitement about that game, and again, we hadn't much history with Bishopstown because we haven't played them that much in recent years, but they have a fine young team, and they've come back up playing A grade, and I think they're going to be there to stay. So that was kind of, I suppose, maybe almost like, a local derby, as you say, with a lot of excitement around it. So I suppose the Munster final again is kind of similar to that, except, notched up another level, I suppose.
In the management team, you must have been very happy, I suppose, the way you saw that game. A lot of composure from such young players.
Well, that's it, I suppose. They're school teams, but our team is an experienced enough school team. We've fellas there who've won kind of Munster medals, All-Ireland hurling medals last year with the school. Represented their clubs, winning counties as well. So they're experienced enough for a school team. And, as you said, I think they can settle into matches and, work hard in games and know what it takes to get over the line.
Talking about working hard, that'll obviously be a key when you play, the defending champions in the final.
Well, absolutely. Brendan's are raging hot favourites, obviously going into it as the holders from last year. And they've a great record in the competition. But I suppose it's all on the day, really. I mean, it's a big game. It's 60 minutes. 80 minutes, who knows the way it'll go. So whoever performs well on the day, really, and plays the best and plays their system the best, I think will probably have a great chance to win it.
And they are, the favourites, as you mentioned, but does that take a bit of the pressure off you coming into the final?
Maybe so. But, I suppose obviously, both panels, both teams will be looking to win it. I suppose Brennan's are going for a second year in a row, which would be amazing, and I suppose that brings its own pressures. We're kind of not used to playing at this grade. Maybe at this grade, yes, but in Munster finals, every now and again. I suppose it's been 7 or 8 years since we got to one, but in a way it makes it a novelty, I suppose, and all the boys are very much looking forward to it. And as I say, they're training well, preparing well. They've done everything we've asked of them, and we're confident that we can give a good performance and play to the best of our ability the next day, and hopefully that'll be enough.
Yeah, and obviously as a Cork school, there hasn't been a Cork school that has won it since 2011. Is that something on your mind, or are you just fully focused on the game as
yeah, not really. I think that's kind of obviously something that people speculate at, looking at past situations, stuff like that. All of that stuff really is outside noise, really as such. We've just got to focus on the game that's in front of us, and the boys have done that all year. And we fully expect them to do it again next Saturday, and hopefully that'll put us in with a shout to be thereabouts.
And just before we finish, you mentioned at the start you've been dealing with injuries throughout the year. Are you looking at a clean bill of health coming into the final?
Maybe not a clean bill of health. Our joint captain Brian Hayes won't make this one. So look, he's obviously a big loss, major talent. But he'll be back, and he'll be back better and stronger than ever. We've 1 or 2 other injuries. We're not quite sure if those boys will be available next weekend or not. But look, the boys that are there have been absolutely fantastic, and we've really pulled together big time. And the collective, we feel is really strong, and we feel that as a management group. And we perform well in the quarter final and the semi final, and we're pretty sure that the boys are going to give us everything they've got next weekend.
And you're very welcome back to us here in Mallow for the production of this Killarney final between St. Francis's Rochestown and, of course, St. Brendan's Killarney. I'm joined alongside me by Rory Noonan to give the comb over Rochestown as we prepare for this final. Rory, you're a past pupil as well. Obviously, look, there's 2 big losses for Rochestown in Brian Hayes and in Kevin Lyons. But as Eamon Hennessy was stressing during the week, it's about the guys that are on the pitch today.
You said it, unfortunately, the 2 boys that are gone are huge losses. Add in Micheál O'Mahony, who can't start, and also Harry Quilligan, who can't start. I mean, they've lost 4 big players, really, for the final today, unfortunately. Hopefully the 2 boys will play a part, but they're backboned by some very, very good players. I mean, when you look at the Douglas fellas involved, from fullback David Buckley, Louis Van Fogarty centre back, Sean Coakley centre forward, all these guys won the double with their club in the championship last year, in the club championship in Cork. So their guys are going to look to, and hopefully their experience will help them today. But really, I suppose, unfortunately, from Rochestown point of view, they are up against it today. Absolutely,
yeah, they're up against, I suppose, the experts in winning Killarney, the most successful team in it, with 23 titles. Rochestown last in the final in 2015, and of course the only title in 1950. But it could be a day that the trend is bucked, and Rochestown can make history today.
Well, I suppose, they're here to win, let's be honest, right? They're not here, just to make up the numbers. But I suppose maybe to a certain degree there's a little bit of pressure off them because of the injuries. No one expects them to win today. And there's plenty good footballers out there for them. So they're going probably in under not a lot of pressure because everyone expects, St. Brendan's to win. So therefore, maybe that might just be in their favour. We'll wait and see.
Absolutely. Rory Noonan, thanks a million. We might hear from you a little bit later on. Aidan Leahy is my name. I'm joined alongside me by Mart Murphy. Mart, we were just hearing about Rochestown there from Rory. St. Brendan's the same, of course. They know what it takes to win a Killarney title. They're the reigning champions. They're going for a record-extending 24th one. And it's going to be a tough task for Rochestown to stand up to it. But I suppose a lot of people are coming here expecting the same, and it mightn't be as easy as people are expecting.
Yeah, that's the problem. Obviously, the St. Brendan's, because they're the holders, they've got 7 of last year's team. They've had an excellent record throughout the competition. They were in the group of death, it was called, along with Mercy Mount Hawk, who they beat in the semi-final, Killarney and Skellige, who were very unlucky to lose out, and Ballincollig. And they actually, came through that. They beat Hamilton High Bandon in the quarter-final in Bantier, and then in Killarney they beat Mount Hawk. It was tight for 46 minutes, but I think it's the 2 of the 3 lads who came back. Mike Keane Lynch, the full-back, who's the captain, and of course Luke Crowley, who's John Crowley's son, who's made such a difference to them. They're missing 1 player today, unlike Rochestown, who are really hampered by injury. They're missing Charlie Keating at right half-back, and he will be a loss to them. But Jamie Moynihan, who was playing wing forward, Seamus' son, he's young, he's only 16 and a half, he's gone back to wing back, and they then have young Killian Courtney to move in. To come in at corner forward. The really, for me, the battle will be around midfield. John Keller and Darren Ryan have been outstanding for the same. They'll be up against Barry Keller and Marco Rourke. Rourke from Cove, very good player. I'm highly impressed by him. And overall, Mike O'Connell's a very good keeper. They have a good defence, Rochestown. So I don't see it as a one-sided game. I think this will be a very, very tight game. But I would think that maybe tradition and that with the resilience that they have built up in a number of tight games, they should have probably dropped points in Kiel against Colossal Skellige, who equalised in added time, and yet they went down in Callum Cronin. Their goal scorer got the winning goal, and that was a huge win for them. So they've shown fierce determination. They've been very impressive, but it's all about today with under 18s, under 19 and a half in this situation. So let's hope that we have a good game and a good battle right to the death.
Absolutely, the two teams are marching behind the Clorglen Pipe Band, and we're going to go through those two teams now. They both line out as selected. First, let's look at the Rochestown lineup. And in goal, number 1, we have Mikey O'Connell of St. Michael's. At cornerback, Fernand Leahy, St. Michael's. Also, David Buckley, a Douglas man, wears number 3. And vice-captain, number 4, Tim O'Brien, Nemo Rangers. At wing-back, wearing number 5, Callum O'Neill, a Nemo man as well. At centre-back, it is the captain, Louis Dwan Fogarty, Douglas man also, and at number 7, a clubmate next to him, Donica O'Callaghan. In midfield, pairing up, Barry Kelleher wears number 8, Marco Rourke, the man from Cove, number 9. Kelleher is a Carrigaline man. And the half-forward line, number 10, Evan O'Connor, Ballygarvan. 11, Sean Coakley of Douglas. Of course, all these Douglas players, members of those that double minor winning team as well, incredible achievement. Billy Fraher, Nemo Rangers, number 12. Number 13, Rob Hanley, Douglas. At 14, it's Derry Howard of Shamrocks, and 15, Ollie McAdoo of St. Michael's. And as we mentioned, two big players on the bench maybe that might feature as Michael O'Mahony, number 23, and 25, Harry Quilligan. Let's look at the St. Brendan's team now, lining up wearing the number 1 shirt in goal, Shea O'Mara, Dr. Crokes. Dr. Crokes' man wears number 2 also, Mikey Lynch. Number 3, it's the captain, Keane Lynch of Glenflesk. And number 4, a Kilcummin man, James Williams. In the half-back line, number 5, Sean Fitzgerald, Dr. Crokes. Number 6, it's Keelan O'Shea, Kilcummin. And 7, Jamie Moynihan, as Mart said, son of Seamus, Glenflesk man. Number 8, John Kelleher, Glenflesk also. And number 9, his partner in midfield, Darren Ryan of Fossa. Number 10, it's brother of Dara, of course, a captain of the same before when they won the Hogan Cup. It's Timmy Moynihan of Spa. Number 11, Aidan O'Neill Renard. Number 12, Alex Hennigan, their top scorer. 410 he's gotten so far in the competition, Dr. Crokesman. Callum Cronin, huge player for them, scored 2-1 in the semi-final. He's up from Glenflesk. Luke Crowley, a clubmate of his, wears number 14. And number 15 is Killian Courtney of Dr. Crokes. And how great is this, Mark, to see the two teams parading, two young teams getting this opportunity. You might be forgiven for thinking we're in Turner's Cross with the fans we have here today, of course, making their voices heard. But this is fantastic to see.
Yeah, we got the noisy crowd, which you'll always get at schools games, whether it's basketball or soccer or Gaelic football or hurling. But yeah, it's a fabulous crowd and two very good teams. I think, it'll be how both sets of forwards deal or get dealt with by the respective defences. And we actually have a man here today to the importance of colleges football. I was talking to Eugene O'Sullivan, who played with the Sim in 72, and he tells me of that team that played that year and won this competition. Four of them went on to win 31 All-Ireland medals with Kerry.
Absolutely, history beckons. Well, here is the national anthem. Absolutely fantastic atmosphere here in Mallow for the Killarney final between St Brendan's and St Francis's Rochestown. Jonathan Hayes is the man in the middle, Limerick man refereeing today, a very experienced referee, has refereed senior championships all over Munster, and a man that'll be well able to deal with this. It's going to be a feisty one, Mort. We can tell already from the two sets of supporters. They're well separated out with the stand. Thanks be to God, maybe.
That's right.
But certainly if the supporter, if what's on the pitch is as entertaining as the supporters, we're in for a good one.
Yeah, well, of course, it's Kerry versus Cork as well. And with the last number of years, this is the first one since 2015. Rochestown were in the final before, and since then it's been dominated by Kerry side. So this is intriguing today. And the battle at midfield is also going to be intriguing.
Absolutely.
And how they're going to match up as well.
Well, as you said, it's Kerry versus Cork, it's Killarney versus Rochestown, it's St Brendan's versus St Francis College. And we're underway in the Killarney final here in Mallow for 2023, and straight into the action. A long ball going inside, and will it be gathered by the full forward Luke Crowley? Glenn Fleskman takes his time, looks for a runner, knocks it inside now, and back again to Crowley. Crowley going forward. Has he the first score of the game? The white flag is raised. It's taken all of 20 seconds. We're off the mark.
Yeah, well, there we go. The throw-in knocked down to John Kelleher. A ball in to Luke, and Luke decided pass it inside. Then he took the return, put it over the bar. It's going to be very, very tough for the Douglas defence against him. The
Rochestown defence, absolutely, yeah, plenty.
Freudian slip.
A Douglas man inside in the full back line, of course, and it's the same who win the kick out, and it's with number 11 now, Aidan O'Neill. O'Neill lays it off to Alex Hennigan, a big danger man, 4-10 he's got so far in the competition. Nice ball inside, but out in front was Fanon Leahy, and Rochestown win the free out. And that's a nice little win now inside there for Rochestown, isn't it?
Yeah, that'll be a boost. I reckon Rochestown are nervous, probably a bit more nervous than the Sim. The Sim have been down this patch, 7 of them have played it last year, and that's telling in the early game. So it'll take them 5 to 10 minutes
Absolutely.
to settle.
It's Mark O'Rourke does really well there to evade that situation. Worked out nicely now to Donegal O'Callaghan, but he's under serious pressure, but he's got the free out again, says referee Jonathan Hayes. We'll go quickly. Lewis Dwan Fogarty, the captain. Rochestown will be looking to build out of here now. It's the full back David Buckley, and back there Barry Kelleher. Rochestown looking to pick their way through the press from the same, and it was Hennigan in there putting in the challenge, still going. Referee has his arm raised, ball going long now into the centre forward Sean Coakley. Coakley broken down, and it's Keane Lynch, the captain, that wins that one, and it's going to be a free out.
That's a crucial battle. Sean Coakley has been outstanding for St Francis, Rochestown for Rocco. Keane Lynch, best man marker, did a great job in the semi-final against Mount Hawk against Paddy Lane and co.
Absolutely, and he won that first little battle anyway. And it's with Darren Ryan. A loose one knocked back to Sean Fitzgerald, and it's very patient from the same here so far. It's with the number 10 now, Timmy Moynihan, brother of Dara, of course. And a lovely ball inside here. John Kelleher floats one in there, and just over the head of Aidan O'Neill, who was inside there. It's gathered, and they'll go back to the goalkeeper, Mikey O'Connell. O'Connell gives it to Lewis Dwan Fogarty. Donegal O'Callaghan now, ball into the middle. Out comes Mark O'Rourke, and back with O'Callaghan again, and it's really difficult for Rochestown to get out of this press that the Sem have him under. Mikey O'Connell moving it on now, and a chance and a bit of space in the middle for the first time really. Lovely ball into the middle. Callum O'Neill forward for Evan O'Connor. O'Connor laying it off, a runner off the shoulder, and a chance for Rochestown maybe to build a score. It's Coakley, has to turn back, gives it out to the wing back Callum O'Neill. O'Neill tries to knock it forward. It'll spill the way of Billy Fraher, but the goalkeeper Shea O'Mara is out there, but it's going to be a free in. The referee had advantage held. 3.5 minutes on the clock, and a chance for Rochestown to get a real settler and level it up at a point apiece.
Yeah, nice combination play there. Good hand passing once they got forward. Coakley involved in the move. A nice dink ball inside, but there had been a pull of the jersey, and although the Sem keeper Shea O'Mara had got out to it to deny the attack, we're going to have a free now to level matters, and there should be no problem.
Yep.
Is it Sean Coakley?
Just can't quite see at the moment. And he'll take his step and uses the left and knocks it over the bar. And it is a point apiece. And it is the number 11, Sean Coakley, who has it.
Yeah, he takes their frees. Yeah, Aidan O'Neill is the only South Kerry lad, the non-East Kerry guy playing with the Sim, and he travels up and down to school from Renard every day.
Fantastic little routine there, but it's broken up well by Barry Kelleher. It was taken well by Darren Ryan from the kick out. He was all on his own, but Kelleher made his presence known. Sharpish. Ball inside now. It's Evan O'Connor. O'Connor cuts in. Will have a go off his left. Lovely little dummy solo still going. O'Connor is dispossessed, but it's still there for Rochestown. Knocked back into the middle. Mark O'Rourke. O'Rourke has support of Donegal. O'Callaghan coming forward from wing back. O'Callaghan knocks it forward into the corner forward. Ollie McAdoo. Referee sounds the whistle, and a bit of confusion maybe for a mark there, needless enough possibly.
Yeah, he thought he didn't realise there was a mark, so he stood up. The numbers,
and probably shouldn't be really for a ball that's only kicked.
No,
I don't
yards. Think that was kicked the proper distance.
And it's well won inside anyway. And here come the Sem now breaking out. It's Aidan O'Neill, as you mentioned, the only non-East Kerry man on the panel.
And as well,
now.
His pedigree is very good. He's a relation of the Landers, Purty and Roundy Landers, who won so many All-Irelands and county championships. So a great lineage there, well-bred.
Well-bred is right. Alex Hennigan winning the free in for the Sem.
And Crowley, Luke will take this. He's quite accurate from any range, really. We'll see how he gets on here. Hennigan then take frees as well. He's taking off
the deck. And this will invite a nice bit of goading from the crowd in the terrace. Just to his right is where the Rochestown, the Rocco Ultras, as we'll call them today, are. They released a flare before the match. Thanks be to God, that smoke lifted. Crowley strikes this one, but it'll tail to the left and wide, and the first wide of the game. 6 minutes in, and it's for the Sem. We're level at a point.
Yeah,
apiece.
That was difficult. There's a bit of a breeze. It's not a major one against him, and he lacked the direction. It swung a little bit left of the post, but he usually takes him out of his hand, and he's very accurate.
Well, this is well won and driven back in by the number 7, Jamie Moynihan, of course, and plenty of pedigree there as well. Crowley, bit of space out here for Timmy Moynihan. Moynihan drops it in there, and it's Mikey O'Connell who was under serious pressure from the number 15, Killian Courtney, and they get away with it, Rochestown. It was a poor kick in the end, but it was a testing one for that goalkeeper.
Yeah, they scored goals. They scored the goal back in Kiel against Colosh and Skellige, Cronin in the first half. It dipped under the crossbar.
Look at this great running from the number 2, Fernand Leahy, knocking it forward. There is advantage. Ollie McAdoo lays it off now to Billy Fraher. Fraher looking in the middle, just about finds Mark O'Rourke, the man from Cove. Still going. O'Rourke tries to find a bit of space to get a shot. He's dispossessed, is he? Referee having a look to see if it was off the ground. He lets play on, and eventually it's dug out by Keelan O'Shea, and away comes St. Brendan. Space in the middle now for Aidan O'Neill. O'Neill knocking it inside. He has Killian Courtney in space. Courtney has it in his hands. He's the run of Luke Crowley coming out against him. He'll decide to try and go himself down the inside. He's dispossessed on the far side. Down goes the number 8, Barry Kelleher, in that challenge. Actually, he's holding his hamstring, and it was strapped as well. But still there for the Sem. A runner through the middle is Jamie Moynihan. Moynihan, good block down inside there. And Rochestown getting away with it, but again can't clear their lines, giving it straight back to the Sem. And St.
Luke
Brendan's
Crowley
looking
again. He's very strong. He's like his dad, Aidan. When he gets
Here's
the
Kelleher.
ball.
Oh, and Kelleher miscues that one off his right and wide, and I think it's Barry Kelleher, of course. 2 Kellehers in midfield on either side, both wearing number 8, but I think it's Barry that's gone down inside there. The referee is having a word with John Kelleher.
That was for a body check earlier on, and luckily he wasn't seen to be running on to collect a return ball. There would have been a black card, so the discipline is vital. Jamie Moynihan there, Crowley and Moynihan combining. We've said that in the past at senior level, but Moynihan's kick was brilliantly charged down down by the Rocco defence. Rocco's defence playing very well, mind you, and so are both defences are tight, forcing their opponents into errors. So it's even enough right now.
Yeah,
that's a savage blow.
It looks like that Rochestown are going to be forced into change. They've lost so many players, Mort, so many players.
And key players, a midfielder, they've lost a scorer in chief, 2 scorers in chief in Quilligan and of course Hayes. And
it's the number 18 coming on for Barry Kelleher. So early on a change. It's James Burke, a Douglas man, who comes in for Barry Kelleher, and it's a shame after just about 9 minutes that Barry Kelleher's Killarney final is over, but Rochestown now will have to pick it up and move on with what they have on the field. Damon Hennessy, their joint manager, has stressed that all week. It's about the guys who they have, as sad as it is, the losses that they've picked up through injuries. But here they go on the attack now, and it'll do them the world of good if they were able to pick off a score after that. A bit of a psychological blow as well when you lose a big player like that in the middle of the field. Evan O'Connor on the far side gathers possession. He's under pressure from Mikey Lynch, working it inside the wing back. Callum O'Neill all the ways up there.
I think in advance both coaches talked about the collective, and I think we can see that here today. There's help defence there. Mikey Lynch was helped out there in that. Mike, of course, a very good number 2, and he's on a very good player in Evan O'Connor.
Absolutely. Sean Coakley back to his captain, Louis Dewan Fogarty. And it's Rocco's turn maybe to play the waiting game and try and pick a pass and unlock the St. Brendan's defence.
It's like a game of chess, isn't it? 1-1 after 10.5 minutes. Incredible low scoring.
There's been more action than the 1 point apiece suggests, to be fair.
Yeah.
Donegal O'Callaghan, a nice ball inside now, and a chance maybe for Rocco to pick apart the defence and take a score. Billy Fraher dispossessed well, and that's very good defending. Coming out with it there, the number 5 is Sean Fitzgerald, and out come the Sem again. Can they break quickly? James Williams sending it forward. Up goes Crowley under the challenge, and it's going to be a line ball for the Cork side. Crowley went up for it. The referee is sending it back to retake the sideline again.
I think the ball was a killer from the number 5, Sean.
I think it was Williams that sent it forward. The number 4 was under a bit of pressure as well.
Yeah, and Crowley had much option there.
Burke, the new man, in, laying it off to his midfield partner, Mark O'Rourke. O'Rourke now, a lovely little ball inside here, Donegal O'Callaghan. And again,
that powerful hurler as well, Kevin Lyons, is a massive loss to I think he pulled a hamstring on Monday evening in training or something, in the biggest final of the year for them. It's
absolutely, it can go wrong at any time, such as the amount of games that players at this age level play, particularly going forward again there. Callum O'Neill, I think, has abandoned his wing-back role. He's playing very high up and has been high up, and he's putting the challenge in there, but St. Brendan's working it out, and it's with James Williams again.
I think Jimmy Moyne is playing a great role there at wing back, dropping back to help the full back line and getting a hand in. Typical fashion, he didn't lick it off the stones.
Absolutely. And the Killarney side bringing the ball forward again. Timmy Moynihan into the middle, all the ways up from corner back. Mikey Lynch, still going Lynch. He'll be looking to pass it off, will he? He will. He'll give it to Aidan O'Neill. O'Neill had the runner off the shoulder, but O'Neill, is this going to go outside the post? It has, and it's a third wide for St. Brendan's.
Yeah, and they've all been on the same side. I have to take it that the wind is blowing across, but that was taken by Aidan O'Neill. And
had the runner as well, Callum Cronin off his shoulder.
Yeah, and that element of the game against Mount Hawk as well, that final ball, they were either losing it or not using it properly until the second half. So Sim need to pick it up front.
Absolutely, in a game that's so tight, it's three very scoreable wides as well for them. As Rochestown working this ball out again, they went short with the kick out, and the goalie came all the ways up as well, Ethan Rafferty style, as we're seeing that so often now in Gaelic football.
I think Timmy has played outfield as well. He was unlucky, he got COVID, and he missed one campaign or one game in this when they were flying last year, and then of course doesn't play at all in 2020.
Sweeping ball across here, and it's going to be picked up by Ollie McAdoo. McAdoo lays it off to Billy Fraher, who's under pressure and dispossessed, and again another tackle in there, and out come the Sem now, breaking from defence with pace, and he's still going on the run. That's the fullback, that's the captain, Keane Lynch. Ball on the deck, manages to regather it and wins the free in off a combination of Sean Coakley and Donegal O'Callaghan.
I would say pound for pound from what I have seen, and I'd say many watchers in Kerry would say Cian Lynch is one of the best underage footballers in the county from the Glenflesk club, definitely.
And a big chance for him to show it here. That one didn't go right for him. It was dispossessed by Donncha O'Callaghan, and a chance for Rocco to break out again. It's been a game of defences so far, really, both on top. And the captain, Louis Dwan Fogarty, on the far side knocks it into Mark O'Rourke. O'Rourke uses his strength and lays it off now, and the full forward all the ways out here. Derry Howard looking to get involved, sending one inside there, but well marshalled is Evan O'Connor by Mikey Lynch, and it's out over the end line, and a first wide for Rochestown, although maybe not a scoreable one or a shooting wide, shall we say, but out over the end line it goes, and a kick out now. Shea O'Mara. They've been fairly tidy so far. That one sent into the middle, and Aidan O'Neill was there to try to gather it. Broken up. Rob Hanley was the one who won the break, and a long ball sent inside. Sean Coakley.
He really is a danger man. I like the way he can play and pass and get his teammates into action.
O'Rourke sending one into the middle, and it's well broken up again. A combination of Mikey Lynch and Sean Fitzgerald winning the ball there.
I think both full back lines are on top as well, so now it's up to the forwards on both sides to unlock
a bit of individual
defenses.
brilliance maybe.
Yeah,
could be huge.
Cronin could be the man to get a goal for the same.
Absolutely. Here is Killian Courtney. Courtney goes for the shot himself, and that is a free in. Maybe probably fair enough, I would say. The two.
Yeah, I think it was the equivalent of a sandwich in old money, and both of them came from both sides, gave him no chance. So look, he was going to. I know he was kicking for a point. He probably was, but I presume Luke Crowley will put this over. But it's really tactically, it's a tactical battle. You could play this on a chessboard.
It's a chance now for Crowley. Just taking some instruction as well there. So he'll shoot off the right, and it'll be an important score if he can get it. But again, Mort, it goes short. It goes a long way from going near over the bar that time, and disappointing really, the big chance to get a point in such a tight game.
I have no chance. I mean, we're up high here, but the flag's down at pitch level, which suggests the wind is blowing in Rocco's favour and slightly across, but we've handling errors on both sides, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
And wides.
And a bit of space in the middle here now. Mark O'Rourke has carried so much ball already in this 16 minutes, but he gives that one away, and out from defence it's spilled again by James Williams. Yeah, and the numbers game coming into effect there. Darren Ryan, but again they can't get rid of the ball the same, and that's going to be a free out.
I mean, if you look at that pattern of play, there was at least 4 errors there. There was probably 2 fouls before the referee eventually blew it for the 14 deciding.
Hennigan sending it inside, and a bit of space and separation. Hennigan takes it back now, and a chance for the Sem to get a score. Hennigan sending it over the bar. The man who's their top scorer, 4-10, 4-11 now. And it's 2 points to 1 after 16 minutes to St. Brendan's.
He's very useful performer, obviously, Alex Hennigan, a very good player. But listen, they had a break there, Rocco, and they really messed up. They passed the ball off. Then the Sim player made a mistake, and like it's a mistake error-ridden game. It's flowing football, but it's still neither sets of forwards are able to breach the defensive setups. I see where they made a number of changes, switching around, and the inside line now for Rocco. You've got Billy Fraher, number 12, is playing at the inside line, but they're playing all over the pitch. But you'd have to say that Cian Lynch and co are doing well back there for Brendan's. And on the other side, the Douglas boy there, David Buckley, is doing very well.
Yeah, and Hennigan there winning the break, and St. Brendan's looking to set up another scoring chance. Ball knocked all the ways back here into the middle now to John Kelleher. Kelleher
very good
bringing
player.
it forward, coming inside the 45, knocks it in. It's Crowley off the right, and a big score for Luke Crowley to settle him down. It's 3 points to 1, and that's more like it, Mort.
Well, the Sim are coming more into the last couple of minutes, and John Kelleher is key. There's been very little midfield action. Obviously, kick-out strategies are so different than they were, so you don't have 4 against 4 at midfield anymore. But Kelleher gave that ball inside. Crowley's the go-to man, and he got a nice point. And
a lovely kick-out routine, well worked here. The mark was called, and it was Ollie McAdoo who came all the ways in, and there was contact after the mark was called, so he won the free, and a chance now maybe for Louis Dwan Fogarty, standing on the 45. McAdoo again, taking the ball on, back to Coakley. Coakley, who's really holding the middle there in around the 45, and sometimes with finals like this, you can see maybe a player like him maybe has to sacrifice his game in order to take Keane Lynch out of the game, you know?
Yeah, we'll definitely have to take Keane Lynch, because Keelan O'Shea along with Jamie Moynihan are both just a year out of Froome Cup. They're in just 16 and a half, 17.
Here's
so then a couple more. Here we go.
Yeah, and a chance for Rocco now. It's the number 10, Evan O'Connor. Evan O'Connor has a big score for Rochestown. 3 points to 2.
Yeah, a very, very good score, and it's very important for not them to allow the Sim to get another score at the other side, because 3 points would appear to be big total here, a lead, you know, and particularly in the opening half. So nice point from O'Connor, slipped his man and put it over the bar with his left foot.
Yeah, and it was actually Dawn Fogarty had a chance of stealing that kick out, but they do come away with it anyway, and the ball sent forward. Coakley under pressure from Lynch. Great battle, as you said, Mort. Out
this
on
is
the far
some battle.
side. Here we go. Coakley tries to turn on the
battle.
burners. Still working his way around and have to lay it off to the man who just got that score. Evan O'Connor, go in search of another one maybe. He looked for the pop pass inside there. He's managed to turn around and nonchalantly off the left send it over the bar, and we've a level game in Mallow.
Yeah, lovely point there. And again, Coakley involved, but Cian Lynch was not allowing him inside, and he passed out to Evan O'Connor, and Evan did the rest.
Even the presence of Coakley there just made the space, he made a run inside there, gave O'Connor the space to get the shot off, and a ball sent out all along the ground, and the referee calls a free out on Callum Cronin, who we haven't seen a lot of so far in the game.
No, and that was silly. He should have been able to put his boot under that. Giving possession back to
funnily enough,
Rocco.
our referee Jonathan Hayes said in the programme, if there's one rule he changed in the game, it would be the pick-up rule.
Well, I think the pick-up rule and the clock are the two things I changed in the game.
We won't get into it. We'll be here for the night. There's a game of football to be played yet. Mark O'Rourke. And Rochestown finding it much easier at the moment to walk the ball compared to the first 15 minutes, let's say, and they're getting a bit of joy now. It's that substitute there. It was James Burke who laid it off, and that's gone to the right and wide. But it's certainly easier for them to walk the ball up the pitch at the moment.
It is. That was Donegal Callan that sent that wide. Yeah, their half-back line appeared to be moving, forward and setting up their attackers. So I think more will be asked by the sim off Timmy Moynihan, Aidan O'Neill and Alex Hennigan there.
And Dwan Fogarty under that again, and it's broken up well and won by the substitute James Burke.
See again, that got reached to the half-forward line there, and Hennigan lost it. Here they go again.
O'Rourke
interception.
Giving the ball away. And now a chance for the Sem to restore their advantage. It's a massive boot inside. Crowley has gathered it. Crowley will turn his man. Crowley bearing down on goal. Went for the delicate little chip, and it's gone over the bar. But great movement by Crowley to secure the ball, roll his man, get the score.
And did you see, it was Kelleher who's sending the ball in. He's crucial. He knows if he goes in there, there's a great chance to Crowley. Crowley's powerful. He's not a big man, but he's strong. Got it, rounded his man, and he tried to dink it over the keeper who was advancing. Didn't go into the net, went over the bar, but I'd be happy enough with that.
Target, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. They lead again, 4-3. Tight contest.
Tim O'Brien on the ball, vice captain, giving it back to his goalkeeper, Mikey O'Connell. O'Connell working it all the ways across. And runners from deep has been the go-to for Rochestown so far. That's broken up on the far side. I think it's Alex Hennigan with the ball, and he's won the free in.
Yeah. Poor passing again. Distribution at times by
Long again
Rocco.
Here, look at this. Luke Crowley putting the Rochestown full back line under pressure again. It was Jamie Moynihan who sent the long ball in, but they're going more direct now.
Yeah, but they're passing at times. Maybe they should go more direct into their full forward line. But of course, they know that Lynch and Co are inside.
Oh, and there's
two Lynches.
Well, the Rochestown
double,
management are not happy with that on the far side. I'm not sure if they're happy with the decision or the actual throw ball itself.
Interestingly, there's a Kerryman in the management team. That is Liam Sheehan. And Liam played a lot of football with Keele and Mid-Kerry, etc. So he is the inside line in the sim. So they were spying the camp.
Absolutely. On we go. St. Brendan's with the ball. And a hush has come over Mallow here. Hennigan going forward. Lays it off to Cronin.
There isn't any excitement, goal chances or whatever, bar Crowley's one.
Here's Crowley again now. Can he force something? Twisting and turning. He's 2 or 3 after him. Still going Crowley. Still has the ball. What a score this is going to be. Oh, he sends it to the right and wide. But the movement, the ability to just get the space and get
He's
the shot
getting a
off.
free, is he?
Has he got a free?
No. He's
No,
saying
referee's
something
gonna
to
play
think.
on.
Yeah,
He's,
it looked like he was dragged at one stage, but maybe he wasn't. They're certainly keeping an eye on him now, which means there's a couple more guys free, so it's up to him now to get the ball to Cronin or Courtney.
Exactly, yeah. Cronin now maybe with a chance to get more involved. Look at this fantastic take by Sean Fitzgerald. He rushed up from wing back and stole the kick out, and he did overcarry it. He just tried to ride the challenge.
It was great defending, though, although he was in an attacking position to judge that.
Absolutely,
beat
he started
his man.
back here in the 65
It did,
and
yeah.
raced up.
That's excellent play. So, yeah, some talented individuals on both sides. I suppose the quality, while it's not the greatest, there still is potential there for one team to open up.
Absolutely.
Who's going to be, we're not sure.
24 and a half minutes gone, ball sent forward. Mikey Lynch dealing with that well. And the same again.
The two Lynches, Mikey, Keane, and James Williams when he's back there, Sean Fitzgerald. That defence is very solid. They have left nothing in so far, 3 points.
Here comes Hennigan taking the ball forward. He looked for runners off the shoulder, pops it inside. Chance for St. Brendan's. It's Killian Courtney, and the goalkeeper Mikey O'Connell came out and made himself big and got a block in from somewhere. And Rochestown get away with it. It was a great run by Hennigan to lay it off. A lovely little move by Courtney. Big chance for Courtney. First real goal chance.
Yeah, it was the first real one. He should probably have done it. He must have seen the keeper in his vision, or maybe leave the keeper foul him. But to shoot that at the keeper straight was asking for it to be saved. And Timmy O'Connell has been around Cork Miners for a couple of years. He knows the time of day. Here again, they're struggling. That's the substitute. Struggling to get rid of the ball.
Yeah, the man in, James Burke, had to come in quickly.
Look at the help defence there by
Kelleher.
But there was great defensive work there by great defensive work there. The midfielder was involved, Dan Ryan, and I think they're dispossessed, and that's the problem with Douglas. If they don't get the ball quickly up to Rochestown, if they don't get the ball quickly up to one of their attackers, they're getting caught.
Advancing forward with Sean Fitzgerald. He sent a lovely ball. Cronin lays it off. Timmy Moynihan will try to find a bit of space back to the man who set it up, Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald pops it inside, and it's the John Kelleher, the midfielder, all the ways up. Back out again to Moynihan. Moynihan looks inside. Chance. Oh, and
penalty.
Will there be a penalty here? Callum Cronin had the chance. And Jonathan Hayes, the referee, spreads his arms. And we will have a penalty for St. Brendan's College. That's a huge,
I wonder,
huge
could he have
moment.
taken the shot himself before he sent it in to a yellow card?
Louis Dwan Fogarty.
For the number 6. Rocco there, they were under pressure, and the same seem to have the ability now with the last 5 or 7 minutes of breaking the cover, and particularly when you'd like to Sean Fitzgerald.
And it's going to be Aidan O'Neill to take it.
He played full forward with them last year and he took some penalties. I've no idea which side it goes to. My memory is fading over the years.
Mikey O'Connell with a big test for Rochestown in goal. It's Aidan O'Neill, and he sent it to the left and wide. A massive opportunity missed for St. Brendan's, but you know what, on the day it has been so far, it's not that big of a surprise.
No, and you know something, like that goal would have really given them. They have won 4 up already on the scoreboard. He was so...
The finger was on the button.
His finger was on the button. They better take that off. Because I'm sure that went wide.
It definitely went wide. I don't think there's any holes in the nets in Mallow.
No, he tried to place it and it was poorly.
It's
for St. Brennan's on their
chance.
biggest day. Yeah, big chance.
And they'll have
Douglas
to recover
still in
from
it.
that now. 1-4 still on the scoreboard, but I'm pretty sure it definitely went wide. Coming forward was Derry Howard. Howard is going to send that well wide. Bit of excitement there maybe in it. 3 wides
By
for
the way,
Rochestown.
both sets of forwards are shooting at the moment. If you were on death row or whatever and there was a firing squad, you'd like some of them to be on it, wouldn't you?
Well, the goal has eventually been taken off the scoreboard. It is 4 points to 3 as we tick towards half time.
I do think the Sim are playing better now, and I think possession-wise and threat-wise, they're taking over a little.
Well, you have to look at the tackle now from Louis Dwan Fogarty, the captain, to step up, and he stopped the goal because it was probably going to finish in the back of the net from play. Cronin was in there again sniffing around, but it was dealt with well. There was a combination of Tim O'Brien and the other cornerback, Fanon Leahy. Mikey O'Connell now bringing it out. We saw him earlier on make a run out to the 45. He hasn't done it since, but it's certainly an option for Rochestown maybe.
Yeah, it's the lowest scoring colleges final I can remember for a long time. Back in 1950, Rochestown beat the Sim in the final. We have a man here, by the way, Dan O'Dwyer from Kilcummin. He's a few clubmen playing here, and he won a title 60 years ago tomorrow in 1963, and he's still hale and hearty. Well done, Dan.
Incredible history in the Mhuiri. It's a fantastic competition. As Rochestown look for a score maybe to level things up. The number 12, Billy Fraher, has sent it to the right and wide again. Yeah,
the accuracy on both sides for players of this calibre, I'm afraid, is pretty poor. As I said, I can see, I'm watching the trees and they're grand. So they're not blowing.
Tricolour on the far side isn't
Tricolour
too high either,
is
so I don't think it's the wind.
No, it's not the wind.
As the Sim secure the short kick out. And it's with Keane Lynch now.
Yeah, they're working slowly through the lines. Just one quick one. There's a guy who should be here today. He's a colleague of ours, Jimmy Darcy O'Sullivan. He's a former Sim guy. He scored the goal for the Sim, actually. He wrote the book, Once a Footballer, Donny O'Sullivan. Now, he was once a footballer. He scored a goal for the Sim back in 1990.
Well, James Williams was caught up the field there by the number 15, Ollie McAdoo.
And he's recovering, and he'll be grand, but he's just been in hospital for a few days, so we wish him well.
Absolutely, and he'll be all the happier if he sees his former school lift the Mhuiri, but Rochestown might have something to say about it yet. Fantastic block down on the far side. It was the number 5, Sean Fitzgerald, who's having an absolute stormer of a game out of wing back.
Those defenders for the Sim, and there's a couple of good ones on Rocco's side as well, but when they're under pressure, some of the block downs and tackles have been excellent. They've conceded one free, is it? Scoreable free?
Yeah, that's it. Ball sent inside now.
Crowley
has a bit of space.
James
Burke is all the ways back there marshalling as well, and I actually do think that Barry Kelleher was doing a similar role before he went off. Chance for the Sim, it's fired over the bar. On the far side, is it Hennigan? It is Hennigan, Alex Hennigan with a second of the day.
He's a big lad, a strong player. Part of the Kerry Minor panel last year, and from Dr. Croaks, all the Dr. Croaks guys from 8 years up. And there we go.
1 minute was all that referee Jonathan Hayes played of added time. It is the Sim who lead 5 points to 3. A massive talking point, of course, was the penalty, and it was missed by Aidan O'Neill. It would have given the game such a different complexion, but at the moment it's still hard to call. 2 point lead for the Sim.
Look, the game is in the balance still. You'd have to say on the basis of the second quarter that the Sim have slightly taken over in terms of possession, movement. Their defence is playing very well, and they've coughed up very few chances to Rochestown. However, that goal, if he could have got it and converted the penalty, Aidan O'Neill, well then that would have put them technically 5 points clear. We don't know what reaction Rochestown would have, of course, if it went in, but on the basis of the score, and that would be a huge lead to take into half-time, and there'd be strong favourites to take the cup. But at the moment, it's pretty even. It's tense. Both sides are making a lot of mistakes. Both sides are kicking a lot of wides. We had the penalty miss as well, which was a wide. So overall, the display and the accuracy, the football hasn't matched the build-up, and both defences are on top, playing very well. And I think possibly maybe one or two of the, although it's not showed on the scoreboard, of the Sim forwards, Crowley in particular, are causing problems to Rochestown. But at the moment, it's anybody's tie, and I'd hate to call it.
Absolutely. Rory Noonan is alongside me. Rory, as we said, a very tense half. It's a game that we're still waiting for it to ignite, maybe.
Exactly, you said it. It's been very, very tense, very tight. As Murt just said there, like, both defences are playing well, but I think really from a Rochestown point of view, if you look at it, it's mistakes by the Sim are actually keeping them in this match. The penalty that they missed there, a couple of other chances that they've had for scores that in fairness to them they normally put over, but just, maybe a bit of nerves in the first half there. I know they're well used to finals, but sometimes nerves can come into it. But overall, if you're going in at half-time from a Rochestown point of view, you're happy you're only 2 points down. You could be an awful lot more behind.
And another massive loss early in that half. Barry Kelleher going off with an injury. It's another man on the sideline. It's really tough, but they're dealing with it well.
Yeah, it really is. You said no. We're now down to our fourth choice midfielder, really, from their point of view, you know. But James Burke is an experienced player, like, you know, he's enjoyed success with Douglas with club between under 16 and minor in the last year or two. So I wouldn't be you know, too concerned with him coming on. But at the same time, it was another huge loss. It'd be interesting to see if the match is still this tight later on. Will they chance Quilligan coming on for 15 minutes? He may make a difference if you put him in at full forward if it's this tight.
What do you think Sean Coakley, Keane Lynch, the sim captain and a very, very good Tigers defender, he seems to have his measure at the moment because Coakley has only converted one free, nothing from play, and I doubt if there's a 30 minutes of football that he wouldn't have struck somewhere or the other.
Absolutely, Mert, you said it, you're spot on there. Coakley at the moment is not even in the game, like, you know, he's been very well marshalled. And if you look down the other end then, the full forward, like Crowley, is causing problems for the Rochestown defence. So if you compare the two full forwards, it's the same full forward. Crowley is doing more damage. Coakley is not in the match at all. One free from him is way below what you'd be expecting out of him at this stage. So fair play to the St Brendan's full back. He's doing a great job on him.
Absolutely. Well, look, we'll take a quick break here from Mallow at half time. It is St Brendan's leading Rochestown. It's 5 points to 3 in the Kern-Ivory final. We'll be back after this. And you're very welcome back to Mallow GA grounds here for the Killarney final. We're waiting on St. Brendan's College to come out, and they're just coming out now to begin the second half. A big change for Rochestown. Massive moment this could be. Number 25, Harry Quilligan, huge player for them, is on the pitch.
Yeah, and he's got some scoring power, and he's in there, and I see that Cian Lynch is taking up Coakley again, and the new man has been taken up by Mike Lynch. It could be the 14 that's gone off. Is it Derry Howard that's gone off?
Could be. We'll have a look. There's number 25 as you see on your screen now. Harry Quilligan, he could be a player if he's fit and if he's able to do a half an hour here. This could really change the game.
Could be a game changer, and it depends on the first quarter. First 10 minutes of the second half will make a huge difference. Can the Sem pull away, or will Rochestown hit back and Coakley and Quilligan catch fire?
5 wides in that first half for the Sem, and one of those of course was from the penalty spot. Don O'Neill had a chance to raise the green flag and sent it to the left and wide. 4 wides for Rochestown, 3 scoreable ones, shall we say.
Actually, it's James Williams, the number 4, who's taking Harry Quilligan.
So, and the Killarney pipe band entertaining us here at half time.
So Rob Hanley's out at right half forward now.
And we're underway. The ball is in, and straight away it's John Kelleher sending a long ball in, and it's Luke Crowley inside there. Luke Crowley did keep it in, but only knocked it back towards Tim O'Brien, the Rochestown cornerback. And the captain, Louis Dwan Fogarty, who actually gave away the penalty, picked up a yellow card for that, but in the end it paid off for him. A touch on the ground awarded by the referee, and a chance for Rochestown to get this ball forward. Number 14, Derry Howard, is still on the pitch.
No, he's on
the far side. Ball going in, and softish free possibly, but push in the back given by the referee on Ollie McAdoo, who had a big half actually for Rochestown, carrying the ball through the middle.
Might be the number 12. I see the 13 is there. I think the 15 is there. The 10 surely is there, Evan O'Connor. And Sean Coakley is definitely there. So by the process of elimination, I would think it might be Billy Fraher. We don't get announcements here, unfortunately, and we're far away from the side of the pitch.
Absolutely. Let's see if Harry Quilligan is able to affect the game. Of course, another one of those players that was on the injury list.
The turnovers by Douglas Rochestown. Eventually I get it right.
Oh, the chance now for St. Brendan's, carrying it through and over the bar from John Kelleher. The first score of the second half, a minute and a half in, 6 points to 3.
He scored 2 goals against Killarney and Skellige. He's quite capable. He had goals on mind.
He's 3-7 altogether.
Yeah, he wasn't too pleased.
3-8 now.
He wasn't too pleased that I went over the bar instead of under. But that's a good sign. I think the over elaboration of time, they used Luke Crowley too much. They got to vary it. There's 5 other forwards there.
Loads of space there when Crowley actually made the run out.
Yeah, I think Crowley should make the run out to the corner, bring 2 men with him, and leave the middle open for Kelleher and co.
Like we said, it's usually a big player is going to have to maybe sacrifice his game in a game like this to try and give his teammates a chance to affect it. Coming out of the back, Cian Lynch had a superb first half.
What a player.
Matched up with Sean Coakley.
And
he's still going here, Lynch. Bringing the ball forward, lays it off to Hennigan. Hennigan had a couple of points in the first half. Is he going to get another one here? He has. It's his 3rd of the game. And nice and easy for the Sem. A lot easier to get those scores than it was in the first half.
Yeah, they really are a third quarter team. They proved it in all their games so far in the competition. They never give up, and they really come good. Now that came from a turnover. Cian Lynch going forward, punishing Rocco, and the ball coming into Hennigan, who put it over the bar.
And the kick out here, well taken, and the mark called by the number 9, Mark O'Rourke, the Cove man. Back to O'Rourke again. Bringing it across the halfway line now. The substitute, James Burke, who came on in the first half for the injured Barry Kelleher. Donegal O'Callaghan now on the near side here, underneath the stand. Under pressure, evades the challenge of Killian Courtney, who had a goal chance as well in the first half. It's Coakley now on the ball. Coakley knocks it into the middle, and Howard was on it, and it's laid off again now. Back to Burke. Looks inside, lovely little pass. McAdoo there, spills the ball again, and like we said, it's just happening too often for Rochestown.
It
in
is,
attacking areas.
And that defence there, they gobble it up like, it's incredible, their hunger and drive. If they get another point here.
Lovely run, Callum Cronin knocks a lovely ball inside there. Luke Crowley calls the mark, he'll play on. Crowley has a run off the shoulder. Crowley goes himself and buries it in the back of the net, but the referee has his hand up. The referee sounds the whistle, he's going to give a free out. Maybe is it for over carrying? It must be.
Yeah, it's too many steps. I don't know how he managed that. He had to go around another man, of course.
I think he got caught between two minds.
He should have given it to Cronin maybe. That's another goal chance missed. So now it's 6 goal chances they've created and they haven't got one yet. But if they do, it's they're going to open
a chance for
floodgates.
Rochestown. But again, Keane Lynch in there and gains the advantage and thrown onto the ground as well afterwards for his troubles. Rochestown now getting a bit gritty in forward areas, trying to maybe get under the skin of the St. Brendan's defenders.
Is that ball bouncing up? I'm not too sure. Oh,
and a big challenge here, and the hand up from the referee for advantage, and he gives it.
That guy Sean Fitzgerald, another Crokes guy, but Keane Lynch is still in Flesk, of course. I'd nearly get a management responsibility from Douglas. I've called him out so often, but no. Rocco there's a booking here for a holdback from 15. I think he's going to get a yellow card.
It's either 15 or 11. I don't know.
Coakley gets it. Both of them got it. Two of them.
Both get it?
Yeah, they did.
Coakley pulled back Keane Lynch.
Yeah, but
a bit earlier on in that passage
McAdoo
of play.
might be earlier.
Here's Ryan, lays it off to his midfield partner John Kelleher.
Is there a goal coming inevitably, I wonder, for the Sim, the way they're breaching the defence?
Absolutely, could be. The referee sounds a whistle again for a mark. I didn't think passing the ball just inside the 45.
Yeah, that forward mark should be a poor pass from Luke Crowley there. That forward mark should be dispensed with. It's crazy. And
you see now more and more players just not bothering with it.
No. You can catch it.
Which is good, you know. It's absolutely good.
Catch
Fantastic high fielding here by Evan O'Connor. He 2 points in the first half. He's bottled up, gets it out though to Coakley. Coakley eventually gathers it, waiting for support. Runner through the middle, and one takes it off the other. It's 14. Derry Howard dropping it in and to the left and wide, and maybe he would have been better off leaving that to Mark O'Rourke when he was running through.
Yeah, St. Francis College Rochestown, or Rocco as we call him for short. Very disappointing shooting wise, but that went the same direction as Crowley and Co in the first half. So the wind is definitely blowing down the field. Not a major one with the Sim now, but it's also blowing across to the far corner.
Yeah, well taken in the middle here. Fine piece of fielding by Darren Ryan. Laying it off to Jamie Moynihan.
Another Fossa name to look forward to in the future, I presume.
Hennigan carrying it across and looking to bring that ball forward and past the 45. Back now with Keelan O'Shea. O'Shea gives it inside. It is Jamie Moynihan. Moynihan off the left. I wonder where he got that from. What a score from Jamie Moynihan.
He scored a very similar point in the semi-final, would you believe, from in the Fitzgerald Stadium. His father was capable of kicking a point as well.
Absolutely.
But I don't think he ever kicked one from that length. Now, Seamus will be the first to admit that. But Jamie's an outstanding player for his age. He's 2 years younger from most of these guys.
And it's huge now, 3 points in this second half so far, 7 minutes into it, 8 points to 3. Rochestown really need to get any sort of a score now, but a goal would be the optimal.
They need a goal because I think the way the Sim are kicking points now is going to be very difficult for Rochestown to get back in the game scoring points, but that's gone out
over the end.
I mean, the turnovers, I haven't got the stats, JC's down there with the stats, but the turnovers on both sides are pretty high, but the turnovers by Douglas going forward is bordering on the criminal, if there's such a thing.
Yep, Rochestown, of course there is a large Douglas contingent, of course, in the team. Of course, that fantastic minor double winning Douglas team.
They were a great team.
It's an incredible achievement, I think, in Cork of all counties to do it as well.
I think one of my bosses
that's the referee is calling this back for
what?
He's calling it back, but he might have been right to leave it play on because Evan O'Connor had the ball in hand. But Rochestown will retake it. going
Well, I know
short.
one man that'd be happy with me. I think he managed them, or he was involved with them at one stage. Is Tony Lean, my boss in the Examiner. So he'd be very happy with the number of times I've mentioned. But anyway, it is Rochestown.
Rob Hanley just looking for an option, forced back again. Burke giving it across. It's with Louis Dwan Fogarty. Looks to pick a pass inside, but again, James Williams, who's had another fine game from cornerback, pretty much all six. The unit of six there have had a good game, but no, again, they get away with it. They're just getting the breaks at the moment. St. Brendan's, as much as Rochestown are trying, and they're harrying and
they've had a few lucky breaks along the way. I mentioned that game in Kiel where they were back level in added time, and World War III nearly broke out, and Cronin got the goal to set them. They've had a few, I won't say lucky escapes, but little things going their way along the way. And for any team to win, you need that.
Just looking there, number 23, Michael O'Mahony, is on the pitch as well now. The two players that would have been earmarked as injured, let's say, two big players for them in the lead up to this game.
Oh, there's somebody in trouble out here.
The referee is calling over Tim O'Brien, the cornerback. He's going to go into the notebook.
He's the vice captain. I'd say he'd get yellow there.
There's 3 yellow cards already. This is going to be a 4th, and it is for the cornerback.
Yeah,
and it really limits their chances of trying, those big aggressive challenges to try and force a turnover. You can't go into one if you're on a yellow.
The momentum is with the Sim now. Very impressed with their back line. Very impressed with every one of them. And here's Jamie Moynihan again.
Yeah, lovely ball across the pitch along the ground. Moynihan looks inside.
Crowley is in Crowley.
There. Crowley goes up.
No,
Crowley has it in hand. He's dragged back. Surely has the advantage. Still going, Crowley. Will we see another penalty given? He's going to call it back for the earlier free. And there's another card going as well. Crowley is telling everybody that he's inside, but I'd say it's the initial foul rather than the second one where he could have been called for overcarrying because he didn't do anything with it. But here comes James Burke, who came on in the first half.
Yeah, they've got a lot of...
And it's going to be...
They're forced to foul. None of them are bad fouls in terms of vindictive or dangerous or anything. They're just,
But when does that foul become a black card?
Well, he was on his way to goal, so, yeah. It's bending the rules a little, but look, it's not in the rule book. Yeah. Ref has done very well, to be fair to him.
And knocking it over the bar is Luke Crowley. It's actually the first free he's put over the bar.
It is, yeah. He had a few whites in the first half. And that's is that 4 in a row now for...
It is, yeah. It's
in the second
4 points unanswered in this second half. It doesn't make for good reading for Rochestown at the moment. There's a substitute in the far side. I'm not able to see.
The centre back is coming off anyway.
It's Killing Courtney is going off on the far side for St. Brendan's.
They're probably bringing in Patrick Moynihan or someone. A big jump there.
Big jump there, and it's gathered by Darren Ryan.
Kelleher did the initial jumping, and Ryan picks up the slack.
It's with O'Shea now. Keelan O'Shea.
In again.
Long ball forward
to the main man.
Crowley.
He hasn't been marked really, sure he hasn't they can't contain him.
One man. Yeah, it's difficult.
There's 5 of them now. Oh, he goes through them.
And it's a tough challenge, tough tackling. It has to be from Rochestown.
Padraig Moynihan, as predicted by Mystic.
So number 19, Padraig Moynihan, is in for Killing Courtney.
Oh, what a catch.
Crowley still going here, and big challenges going in, and I think the referee has called that correctly, Mort. I saw Crowley lean the shoulder in there, and he's going to bring it forward as well. Oh dear, that's
a punch.
That was bad. Hands to the face, and this is going to boil over now. It's beginning to boil over.
Yeah, well, the ref handled that badly, I have to say. There was a foul on Crowley, first of all, and I'm saying this completely impartially. If you rewind and look at the replay, there was a foul on him, first of all. Then he got,
he did. Crowley then threw in the shoulder, probably.
Yeah, he got something in the meantime, and then Crowley barged and threw in the shoulder, and he's been called.
I'd say
he's going to get a yellow,
maybe here, but I think if the referee saw, we're going to see here. Look at the replay.
Yeah, look at him now. Look. That's a punch into the chest. Look, that's a foul, and he gives a free out. So look, your man, he won't release the ball. Your man tries to drag it off him.
Look, we're going to count for play on here, and look, I think Rochestown now are getting a bit frazzled. Crowley taking this free quickly, just as we were looking at the replay.
Hennigan.
The free went wrong. Hennigan dispossessed again. Hennigan goes to the
ground
a bit softly there, I think, that time. And, just couldn't get his hands in the ball, James Burke. It's still there. Now Rochestown are really tackling hard. Here
Kelleher.
is John Kelleher to the right and wide.
That's been frantic.
First wide of the half for St. Brendan's.
It's been very frantic, Aidan.
Look, Rochestown have to up the physicality, I suppose.
They do,
You need
but
to do it within the laws of the game.
yeah, well, they're 5 or 6 on yellow cards now, and they've got to be careful. They don't want to go down to 14.
Yeah, there's 5 yellow cards now. Yeah, on the well, 6. Yeah, David Buckley, I take it, got a yellow card that time, as did Luke Crowley for the Sem. It's the first yellow card the Sem have picked up.
Yeah. Well, they haven't been under the same pressure as.
Yeah, absolutely. Can Rochestown force something here? Evan O'Connor is going to get the free in. Swarm tackled, and hopefully it doesn't boil over again on this side.
Yeah, it's getting physical now. The stakes are high. It's 9-3, 6 points. We've only a quarter of the game left.
Rochestown really need to score. They need to raise some sort of a flag, a green one. Would really get this game going again. And a bit of keep ball here. Coakley, can he force something? Knocks it out wide on the far side of the pitch. Just having a look there, it's Harry Quilligan on the ball. Quilligan knocks it back into McAdoo in the middle. McAdoo was really good in the first half. Still going.
They should get a score here now.
They need it. Rob Hanley. Hanley goes with the left. Hanley drops it into the goalie. And Shea O'Mara does very well with it and knocks it out here in their space. And it's Timmy Moynihan now, and he'll knock it forward again. 2 kick passes and out they come. Alex Hennigan couldn't judge that one right, and I think you mentioned about the bounce actually. That did bounce way over his head, and that's going to be a free out. James Burke did well there to get his body over the ball and draw the foul. But Rochestown again, they need to be converting those chances, because it's possibly the first time they've really threatened inside the 45 in the second half.
Yeah, they've made very few, another substitute coming on here, they've made very few incursions into, and when they have, the Lynches and co back behind, so there's a substitute coming on.
Chris O'Keefe, number 22 on for Derry Howard, number 14 for Rochestown.
Well, the Rochestown player, I wanted to get rid of him at half time, Derry Howard, not by design, just by accident, and he's gone off now.
And on we come again. Rochestown building from deep. They need to find something, and the ball is spilt again. Another unforced error, and picked up here by Luke Crowley. Luke Crowley under pressure from Callum O'Neill, who'll try and shepherd him out wide.
None of his teammates coming towards him though.
9 points to 3. I suppose there's no need to push everyone up either with a 6-point lead. Number 19 Pádraig Moynihan sending it across. Lovely kick pass, and Darren Ryan.
They're experts at the kick pass, aren't they? It's a lovely.
Here is Cronin. Callum Cronin on the far side. You could hear from the roar. You could hear him roaring on the far side before the umpire went to the white flag. It's a great score. It's a first score for Callum Cronin.
Yeah, we've gone to double digits now for St. Brendan's. They've moved 10, 3 clear, 5 on the bounce in the first 16 minutes of the second half. And really, Rochestown boys will have to do something radical.
They do. They need to try and force an opportunity down here, but let's have a look now. What can Evan O'Connor do again? Ball spilt out over the line.
Oh!
And Mikey Lynch.
Yeah, it's very physical between a couple of players there. Yeah.
Lynch now running from deep, knocking it into the middle to John Kelleher.
Powerful runner. Great help defence, isn't there, by...
Yeah, absolutely. Broken up this time. Aidan O'Neill was looking in. Rochestown need to move the ball up quickly. There's for a team that are 10 points to 3 down, there's one man inside the 45. There's 4 players now between the 45 and 65 as they move forward. Ball sent inside there. It's the number 25, Harry Quilligan. Quilligan carrying a knock into the game. A big player for Rochestown if fully fit. And that
Darren Ryan across the cover, isn't it?
Ryan,
the midfielders are back. John Kelleher as well. They worked very hard. Everything hasn't gone their way. They'll need to improve if they win this for a joust, probably at an ace. But look again, wasted distribution up front. You know, you can't be a one-trick pony. You can't keep hitting Crowley the whole time. It doesn't work. They've got to play through the lines as well.
Look at this. The goalie, Mikey O'Connell, is up for Rochestown. And he's helping advance the ball forward here. We've mentioned it so many times before. They do need to score. Sean Coakley now with the ball in hand.
But Coakley. I wonder, does the centre forward need the goalkeeper to be in front of him?
Well,
he's
the
own
goalie
goalkeeper.
Has stayed up in the 45 here. Long ball inside there. The referee blew for the mark, although the ball it actually wasn't gathered. And Quilligan again dispossessed on the far side, just got cornered. The goalie now is making his way back to his post. as Brendan's worked the ball out here now, and a little pocket of space here in the middle for Jamie Moynihan. Powerful running from the wing back. Crowley tries to be a bit too clever, gives it away. Can Roches counter the counter?
Well, the pass was high, he found himself underneath it, so he tried to improvise and it didn't work.
Well,
but again, that's the second or third time
yeah.
going forward the last couple of minutes that the Sim haven't punished Rochestown.
And a big block down here by Darren Ryan in midfield. And the Sim have the ball back again on the far side with Timmy Moynihan. Moynihan back into Darren Ryan.
I know there is 12 minutes left in the game, but this is not good from Rochestown. They're just not getting into it. They're not punishing. Again, Crowley's up alone now.
Callum Cronin
There's
down at the
somebody
ground
down.
receiving attention.
Yeah.
And
I see Arthur Fischel from Farnford, who's their trainer in front of him. He's involved with the Kerry senior team as well, and he was involved with East Kerry. By the way, East Kerry minors up to the North Kerry won it last year. These Kerry minors have won 6 of the last county minor titles, and some of these lads were in the last couple, so that'll tell you.
Mikey O'Connell thought he might have been in a bit of trouble there in the midfield, but they managed to gather it back to Rochestown. Knocked out wide here now. Up from corner back is Tim O'Brien, the voice, or it's Quilligan, apologies, on the far side wearing number 25. Into the middle to Michael O'Mahony. O'Mahony back out again to Quilligan, and they're just cornered in here, and the shot is fairly tame, and the Sem again are able to come away with it out of defence.
It's safe to say the full back line and all the defence, but the Sim full back line have a grip, have the shackles on their forwards. Sean Coakley hasn't scored from play yet.
Fantastic running from Pádraig Moynihan off the bench. Callum Cronin is exiting the field. There'll be a change in the far side for the Sem. Ball breaks here. Alex Hennigan with a chance to finish the game, but Mikey O'Connell again. If there's anyone you can look up to for Rochestown, Mikey O'Connell has been absolutely excellent.
Absolutely fabulous. Again, another goal chance, not converted. They really had, that's the 7th I think they've created, or possibly 8th, and they have a 45 from this. And
sad to see Callum Cronin going off the pitch, and as it looks, with a Hogan Cup campaign coming down the line, possibly it's 10 points to 3 here with 10 minutes to go.
Yeah,
hopefully it's nothing too serious, and even
no,
for look,
is
the
it
rest
Neil
of the season
O'Carroll that's
as well.
coming on from? Is it number 18? He's
number 18.
A blondie.
Neil O'Carroll coming on for Callum Cronin.
He's Dr. Crokes. I once wrote or put a club after him as Killarney Legion, which was a mortal sin, but I recovered.
Got away with it. The Mikey O'Connell's opposite number, Shea O'Mara, is all the way up to kick this 45 with the left boot. Sends it to the right and wide.
Yeah, the accuracy from both sides, bar on 1 or 2 occasions, hasn't been great today. But the game has never really taken off because Rochestown haven't been able to put it up. What's the ref doing now?
Another injury here in the middle for Rochestown. He's up. That's the number 13, Rob Hanley.
Yeah, I think he's going off.
He has to go off again. And look, I suppose this kind of just encapsulates Rochestown's look, really.
Yeah, but the number of players, obviously O'Mahony and Quilligan, who came on half time, they're not fit, and you can see they're not fit. They're not buzzing as they normally would.
Willing
and
to come
then to be without Hayes.
Yeah,
and those guys and Lyons to get injured during the week. He's a powerful man. So really, they've been handicapped by injuries. So we have to add that into the mix.
Robbed of a really good contest here by the injuries, unfortunately.
Absolutely, yeah. While the boys are only missing, the Sim are only missing Charlie Keating, and like Sean Fitzgerald replaced him, moved across.
Had a fantastic game, yeah.
Yeah.
Ball sent long forward, cut out well by Keelan O'Shea. Still there though. Tim O'Brien was up. Back into the middle to the captain, Louis Dwan Fogarty. Fogarty will try and go for a shot himself, knocks it in, and well marshalled inside. Chance for a goal. Great save by Shea O'Mara. Fisted into the back of the net by Sean Coakley.
Yeah, it was.
Will this now, with what have we, 7.5 minutes to go, it's 10 points to 1-3, 4 points in it. Have we a game on Mort?
Yeah, the ball is being sent in here, and it was a long ball in. It was missed or dropped by one of the defenders, saved by the keeper.
Fisted in, and look at this now, Rochestown getting ahead of steam up. They won the kick out. It's Tim O'Brien up. If they could get another score, all of a sudden the Sem have to try and get that cushion back again.
Yeah, it just proves you can never write a team off.
Absolutely, especially with the quality of the likes of Coakley.
Yes.
The captain again sending one long inside. O'Mara does well with it this time. Shea O'Mara
he's a very good keeper.
dealt with the test there.
I think that's going to wake up the Sim as well, though, because I think they were just cruising through this as they thought. They kicked some very poor balls up front. They haven't been using them properly or getting the scores. Here they
Look
go.
at this. Oh, fantastic running through the middle. John Kelleher carrying the ball forward. Kelleher has open road in front of him. He's one man inside. Kelleher goes himself. What a goal by John Kelleher.
What
all
a
the
player.
way from midfield.
What a response by St. Brendan's
What a
College.
finish. We saw him trying to do something similar a little earlier on. It went over the bar. He caught this one perfectly.
Yeah,
Mike O'Connell's goal has finally been breached.
He'll be involved with the Kerry under 20s. He's in training with them. He's a fabulous player. He is excellent, and going forward, he gave the first ball that they got a penalty from. So any ball he has had, he's used it well. Here he goes again.
Two good goals either end in the space of about a minute. Rochestown will need to find another green flag now, just as we thought. Maybe they were getting on ahead of steam. John Kelleher with an explosive run down through the
Again,
middle.
I hate going back to Kiel, although what's his name won't like me doing it. That's part of the Rocco management team. Liam Sheehan went back in Kiel that day. 2 goals from Kieran Cochran from Colossians Gallagher, drew the game level, and still they got back, and Cronin got the goal in, with only seconds left. They have this ability to strike back when wounded, and that's the situation with them. That's why they're so experienced, in control. And now, like with 5 minutes left, a little bit over it, they need another goal.
Rochestown are going to lob this in one. It was the goalie Mikey O'Connell coming up. It's in there for Rochestown. They have possession of the ball. They'll work it out. Coakley will go for a score. Coakley off the left.
That's gone over.
It's going to drop. It's going to drop right down on top of Shea O'Mara, and O'Mara does very well there to just fist it out of the danger zone.
Yeah, he was a Kerry minor 2 years ago, a keeper, so he's experienced. He is the age now. And
look at this. They're going to send the goalie into the square for this.
Well, he could cause mayhem in there. He's such a big man. Yeah, I'd expect Ryan and Keller to be back there keeping an eye on him. Anything could happen here with the high ball in. But do you notice, since they've stopped pussyfooting with the ball around the place and started playing it directly in, they're getting a better...
Coakley struck it and didn't really strike it that well. You'd rather nearly see Coakley inside there. Falls the way of O'Brien. O'Brien works it out here. There might still be a score on for Rochestown. It's with Mark O'Rourke, and O'Rourke taps it over the bar.
Yeah, Rochestown are doing their best work now. We wonder, is it too late? It may not be. There's still a lot of time. You can score...
Well, their goal is currently unoccupied, as Mikey O'Connell isn't in too much of a rush to get back.
6 points and just 4 minutes of normal time left. 2 goals would make it very interesting.
Absolutely. The referee is calling 2 players over now. He's going to call Mikey Lynch of St. Brendan's, and he's already talking to Evan O'Connor. Evan O'Connor got 2 points in the first half. Hasn't really gotten much of the ball at all in the second, and he's going to get booked here, the two of them, yeah.
How many cards has he given now? About 8 or 9, is it?
It's 2 for the Sim, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards for Rochestown.
They're pressing a lot higher now, Douglas, as well. Rochestown on the kick out.
Keane Lynch coming forward. He laid it off to Kelleher. It's broken up now, and a chance for Rochestown to get out. It's given to Michael O'Mahony. Works back into the middle again. O'Mahony takes it. O'Mahony blocked down well in the middle.
That's great work again by the Sim.
Yeah, and another turnover. Another turnover here.
Yeah.
Burke in again there, wins it back. Ball sent forward. Bit of space inside here for the aforementioned Evan O'Connor, who just picked up a yellow card. O'Connor is going to try and lob this into the middle. Coakley was in there, was never going to get there. Mikey Lynch dealt well with it. And a chance for St. Brendan's to get out of danger. And running the ball out again. It's been so impressive. And on the far side, all the way back, Alex Hennigan. Back to Mikey Lynch again, who made that interception. And the same taking the sting out of things now, maybe. Yeah,
they're playing the ball around. They won't send too many long to Luke now. I think they'll try and play the possession game, play this game out. And with the last 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Oh, right through Crowley's hands. Here's Kelleher again.
Kelleher still going.
And he's fouled, that's it. Yeah.
Knocks it back. And it's going over the bar from that man, Luke Crowley.
Yeah, but again, it was John Kelleher who made the break, going through, spotted Crowley, gave him the ball. He was fouled, he was going to get a free anyway, and Crowley put it over. I think deservedly the Sim are going to take their 24th Munster Curry title.
Yeah, absolutely, and a back-to-back as well. But Rochestown, maybe with one or two more phases of play to go.
Well, they're 3 scores behind now. They'll have to get 2 goals and a point.
They're going to have to rattle in a few green flags is right. And the same, look at that swarming around the ball again. Out comes Sean Fitzgerald, who's been actually a bit quieter in the second half. He had a stormer of a first half.
Look where Crowley's now. He's
and
inside
Crowley
his own half.
Always back. Hennigan trying to ride the challenge, gives it back to Crowley again. Crowley knocking it inside. It's a great ball and it's a chance for a goal to seal it.
That's a foul.
Surely for Timmy Moynihan. Moynihan with a clever effort to knock it over the bar.
I'm not too sure how that wasn't a foul, actually. I'm just wondering. Maybe I'm seeing things, and then again, maybe I'm not.
Well,
maybe
it's
I
knocked
see
over the bar anyway.
Yeah, it's over the bar. It's 1-12, 8 points. I think they're worth that on the day. Obviously, Rochestown came into this, with their hands tied behind their back, missing too many good players. But they haven't performed well. If you take the goal out, which is a brilliant goal, they've only kicked 4 points, and one of them was from a free, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So they've kicked, 4 points from play? 4 scores from play.
Owen Kelly coming on for St. Brendan's on the far side. James Williams, number 4, making way.
He was playing.
Looks like he picked up a bit of a knock as well, which is worrying going forward.
It is. They have a couple of weeks, but look, they're such power.
4 minutes to be added on. The fourth official raised the board on the far side. David Buckley. And Rochestown will try to have to build an attack. They're going to have to get the ball forward a bit quicker than this. James Burke.
The crowd never got into it because they really didn't. Just after the penalty and after the the Rochestown goals.
The
2 goals. That's all. The crowd really haven't been involved.
It was just a bit of a, it just never ignited like we said at half time.
No.
Both teams really haven't shown what they're both well capable of. That's going to be a free in, says the referee. Evan O'Connor on the ground.
There were brilliant hands there by Mikey Lynch to knock the ball away, but he was adjudged to have fouled his man. Emmett O'Shea is trying to...
Sean Coakley, he's been brought into a more central area. Referee points to the watch to make sure the clock is stopped for these substitutions on the far side, and it's a bit of an army coming on now. For the same, I see Luke Daly is coming on, number 20.
Yeah, and I think
number 7,
Jamie Moynihan is
making
going
way. Another fine game for him.
He's got to go for a goal here.
They have to, absolutely, yeah. And even at that, 61 minutes on the clock now, 1 into the 4 minutes that was added on. Oh, and he tried to blast it towards goal, but
I think it sums up. No, it sums up his day as well. I know he got the goal, but that was a knockout from the keeper, from a lot of pressure in there, a loose ball, we'll call it. But overall, I think Cian Lynch has had his measure today, but he wasn't helped with the supply ball he was getting either. John Kelleher and Dan Ryan have been outstanding at midfield, and the half-back line has been, Sean Fitzgerald, Jamie Moynihan, Keelan O'Shea, and then the inside line.
Well, I think we can say we were asked to pick a man of the match, and of course there was plenty of options from the St. Brendan side. And for Rochestown, it just hasn't been their day. Like we said, Michael Connor was excellent in goal for them and managed to keep out so many goal chances. And just in the second half, things didn't click for him. Evan O'Connor was pretty good in the first half, kicked 2 points. But look, it's been St. Brendan's day here. So many to pick to choose from. Cian Lynch was excellent. Michael Lynch was excellent. Jamie Moynihan, Sean Fitzgerald. Obviously Luke Crowley was fantastic up front,
and Alex Hennigan was good as well.
Alex Hennigan, absolutely. But I think there's one man that stood out, and he stood up every time he was asked to do it.
That's midfielder number 8, John Kelleher from Glenflesk. He got a crucial goal. He's a man mountain. He's a machine. He travels forward. He's kicked a point.
He's got 1-1 today.
1-1. But in the first half, he supplied a lot of good ball to Luke Crowley. He set Luke up, and he set Cronin up the time that the penalty was. So overall,
absolutely.
His display has
excellent
been
stuff here. He is in on the ball again, carrying it forward. Just the kick passing and the ability to carry it, and
he can field the ball as well. And I worry about Kerry midfielders.
You were saying this. I saw you saying this.
And you have in the other semi-finalists, we have the powerful man from Atherton Kilmiley.
From Lerwick, from right across the way from the sports field in Lerwick. Robert Monaghan,
outstanding in that game. He was kicking 8 points, 5 or 6 from play at midfield. So I don't think there's any shortage of midfielders. We've just got to be patient in Kerry. This is the last rights now.
Absolutely, the same, just holding on to the ball.
45 seconds left.
112 to 1-4. There was 4 added on. There might be a bit longer because of the substitutions that were made after the added time. But it's title number 24, surely heading to Killarney. Here's Kelleher again. Kelleher laying it off.
He's everywhere, isn't he?
He's been excellent.
Somebody must have told him we nominated man of the match today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, got on the ball very handily for our cameraman to zoom in.
Our drone down there. John is doing a wonderful job. John Upton is our cameraman, by the way, and he's outstanding.
Kieran in studio as well.
Yeah.
Been a big part of making
John
this
usually
production.
gets the ball in the picture, which is a great sign of a cameraman, isn't it?
Absolutely. And the same now, just ticking away the last few seconds of this. 64 minutes gone on the clock. Will the referee play much more of it? And the same, it's Mikey Lynch on the far side. He'll knock it forward to Sean Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald can't keep hold of the ball, just about does. Knocks it back out to the far side now. Ticking down the seconds. Pádraig Moynihan. And Crowley now. That is it. The full-time whistle goes. And for the 24th time in their history, St. Brendan's Killarney have claimed the Curran-Ivery title.
Yeah, and I think deservedly so. I don't think there's a Cork person or anybody involved with Rochestown. Obviously they'll be disappointed. Would absolutely question the fact that they were beaten by the better side today, a more experienced side, a more composed side. And while they didn't punish their opposition like they normally would, they still did enough to win the game. Outstanding at the back, and some key matchups that they won. They won the midfield battle with John Kelleher. They won in the full back line, particularly Cian Lynch's marking job on the danger man, Sean Coakley. As well as that, the Rochestown were missing too many of their key top guns in attack, and that worked against them because they only scored 1-4. Okay, Coakley got the goal, but the game was gone when he got it, and before that he'd only kicked 1 free, and Evan O'Connor, the wing forward, had scored 2 points. So overall, 3 points from play over a game that lasted about 64 and 66 minutes. Not enough. Overall, you'd have to say, Kieran Hurley and his management team did a great job with their team. I think the semi-final was a bigger test than today, unfortunately. That's the way it was. Didn't work out for Rochestown. And it's a long time, 2011, since a Cork school has won the Curran-Ivery. The Kerry sides have dominated over the last decade and a bit, and it continues. And, looking forward for Brendan's, they're going to have to improve. They'd want Charlie Keating back probably as well. Hopefully Callum Cronin is okay.
Yeah, and James Williams as well.
And James Williams, because they have knocks taken. And it looks like to be probably somebody like Naas. They'll be playing the Leinster champions in a couple of weeks' time in the Hogan Cup semi-final. But onwards and upwards for them. They were the better side. It wasn't a classic colleges games, high scoring, attack after attack. It was very, very tactical. Both sides had their homework done. They tried to cancel each other out, I think, didn't they?
Fractured at times as well.
And there was,
sides,
at the end. But
a lot of turnovers.
Lots of turnovers and lots of yellow cards. Nothing major. One little bit of an outburst with Crowley and the full-back. But other than that, nothing major. I think, in fairness to Luke Crowley, they need to play him be smarter and their shot selection and where they put the ball and distribute it must be better, as the Simmer applauded off the field by their supporters coming for the presentation.
To the left. I suppose, just on the facts, you touched on it, it's been 2011 since Cork School won it. 2015, Rochestown were actually the last Cork team to contest the final.
Yeah.
They're back in it again. I suppose the Curran-Ivery needs strong Cork schools, and particularly when you see teams going on to the Hogan Cup, they're going to be all the better for it if more counties have stronger teams, and hopefully Rochestown can build on this now and maybe see them back here next year.
Like the last time they played Public Skull Corkagina, and that was the Mark O'Connor team, etc., and they went on to win the Hogan Cup. While last year it was Tralee CBS final against Kerry final against Brendan's. Brendan's won it, but they lost the final. They won the semi-final up in Mayo in the Dome, and then they lost the final. So they'll be hoping to go one better. They need those pictures up on the wall. It's a great tradition in the school. They're a strong team, but they're hardly a weak link in the team. But they just need to get their act together and get everything in sync.
Yeah.
And those turnovers, the passes over the top, those wides, they need to minimise them the next day. But I think they'll work on this, and looking at them, they're an impressive team. From the very first day that I saw them playing this year, I made a prediction that they'd reach the final along with St. Francis College Rochestown, alias Douglas, all along by me. But yeah, Rochestown Rocco, that they would meet in the final. And I was reminded that by Kieran Hurley after they won the Munster final, semi-final, against Mount Hawk. At least you got it right, Mort, once.
Absolutely, yeah. And look here, Cian Lynch, the captain of the same, is in position. Don O'Neill is next to him. They must be accepting the cup together, and of course the man of the match as well, John Kelleher, who got a 1-1 today, and just his overall contribution. Colm Lyons is our man on the microphone.
To Sims midfielder John Kelleher. This is presented by our sponsors TUS and Jimmy Brown.
Yeah, so man of the match, John Kelleher, receiving his trophy for a brilliant performance.
We'll just start off with the presentation, just brief. Bhálam Cahard Shahurt and Golfer as clearly out to Kenya. Bhálam Cahard Speshita, a Hurt is Fern and Mhuiri TUS Killarney as Kalasha Brennan Killarney. I'd like to congratulate both teams on a fantastic sporting occasion here today. I'd especially like to congratulate the winners of this year's Killarney Cup, St. Brendan's Killarney. Commiserations, St. Francis Rochestown. You can be proud of yourselves in the way you've represented your school and your family here today. Congratulations in getting to the Munster final. It's a huge, huge achievement, and you can be proud of yourself for getting here. I'd like to thank our referee, Jonathan Hayes, and his officials for the superb job they did in the officiating game today. I'd like to thank the management and ground staff here at Mallow GA Club for giving us the field for such a prestigious final. I'd like to thank the Munster Council for their ongoing support to the Munster Post-Primary Schools. On behalf of the Munster Post-Primary Schools GAE, on behalf of all the post-primary schools in Munster, I'd like to thank our sponsors TUS, the Technological University Shannon, for the help that they've given us in developing our games across Munster. We look forward to working with you over the next 2.5 years. I'd like to thank Owen Ryan and the service officers for the ability to run our large programme of games in such a short time frame. Thanks to your leadership and commitment, Owen. I'd like to thank Ed Donnelly for the super work he's doing in promoting Gaelic games across the province through social media. I'd like to thank our hard-working committee of Declan Fitzgerald, Hugh Flavin, Dave Minogue, Liba Mahoney, Tara Wren, Mike Nash, Fintan O'Connor, and our CCC. Without your support and work, our competitions wouldn't have been run in such a professional manner. And finally, I'd like to present this year's Killarney to the winning captains of St. Brendan's Killarney, Cian Lynch, and helped by Aidan O'Neill.
Yeah! Yeah!
First of all, I'd like to thank Rochestown. You put in a great effort. We knew coming in to the game you were going to give us a savage game. You were in it nearly all the way. Just 3 cheers to Rochestown. Hip hip. Hip hip.
Hooray.
Hip hip.
Hooray.
I'd like to thank Mallow for having the pitch in such great order. To the referees, you did a great job, and the umpires. I'd like to thank Arthur, Mike, Donal, Gary and Kieran Hurley. The effort you've put in since the start of the year has been amazing. I'd like to thank the school for being so flexible with us and giving us great opportunities and doing so much for us throughout the year, organising buses and food. To the boys, you put in some effort, like there's 43 of you out there, and the amount of work you've put in since the start of the year has been absolutely phenomenal. So well done, boys. And let's hope, boys, we can keep the journey going. Hey! Hey! Come on!
Accepting the Killarney for the 24th time in St. Brendan's history. 112 to 1-4. It finished here in Mallow. And St. Brendan's now move on to the Hogan Cup, where they go into the last four, of course. And as Mort was saying a little earlier on, he expects it to be Naas that they face. Rochestown, unfortunately, just not their day today. But hopefully it won't be so long again. Of course, 2015, the last time they were in the final. Hopefully they'll be back here a bit quickly again to contest this Killarney battle. But it was St. Brendan's Day. John Kelleher received man of the match, 1-1 from midfield, was absolutely excellent. Luke Crowley as well, of course, was huge inside and full forward for St. Brendan's. But from Mallow, from myself, Aidan Leahy, Rory Noonan earlier on as well, and Mark Murphy, who joined us on co-commentary throughout the game. Thanks very much for tuning in to us here. We'll leave you with the word St. Brendan's College Killarney, Killarney Champions 2023.